Hello, welcome to SquishiVision, where I give my opinions on, in this case, WandaVision, immediately after having watched it, without any chance to really collect my thoughts and put together and think of any detailed analysis. So we've reached the series finale, final episode of WandaVision, the culmination of 2 months of our lives, and in this day and age, 2 months is a hell of a long time. It was building up something. There was a lot of build up. There's a lot of teasing, a lot of empty strings, vague concepts, questions to ask, all leading to something. Teasers, things like that. I mean, now that I've reached the end, I can certainly say the appeal was in the journey and not so much in the, why am I so loud? Was in the journey and maybe less so the actual culmination. I mean, there wasn't really anything there. I mean, it was alright. It was a good bit of TV. And there was some great acting. The acting was great. And there were some amusing parts, but okay, well, I mean, let's break it down. Pretty much everything that was revealed last week was it. There was no other revelation to be made, other than what we got last week. Yeah. There's a white vision. I mean, the only other kind of way that story went was they had okay. I mean, the action pieces weren't bad. They were good. There weren't anything new. There was nothing new there. I mean, Marvel's, Vision's fighting technique is unique because he has his abilities that make his kind of fights a bit unique. So thinking back against himself was alright, but it wasn't anything we haven't seen before in Marvel. Wanda's fights wasn't anything we haven't seen before in Marvel. So I mean, I enjoyed it. I was entertained. It wasn't anything new. So yeah, the end of the Vision bit, he kind of gives Vision his independence by unlocking his memories and kind of giving him a bit, and kind of making him the new Vision. And so he kind of flew off and left the episode, and that was basically it. So there wasn't kind of a deep revelation. It wasn't kind of a big shattering Marvel kind of universe thing from that. Well, okay, sure. That was one aspect. I mean, it was because it was introduced so late as well. It was like a post-credit scene from the previous episode. It was such a late addition. I guess it resolved so easily, really. There was no revelations between the Agatha and the Wanda thing. Everything that we learned last episode stood. Agatha was interested in stealing the power, and that was basically her entire motivation. That didn't change. Wanda's motivation doesn't change. We learned, or we got confirmation that she can't break the spell on the Westview residents without losing her children and Vision, which I guess, is quite a heartbreaking dilemma to be in. But I guess we could have assumed that anyway, so it's not really that big of a reveal. I'm not yawning because I'm bored, I'm yawning because I'm tired. And then they just kind of juked it out with fighting, and then I mean the way she tricked her was clever and very satisfying. But it was only clever in that it was built. Okay, here's the annoying thing. I'll tell you the annoying thing. The second most annoying thing is why that all just happened. Now it's behaving a bit more. I don't know what's up with my green screen right now. That's the second most annoying thing. The most annoying thing is you could probably take the first 7 episodes of this series not watch them and still get the reveal. Like nothing that was cued in the first 7 episodes wasn't reaffirmed in the 8th episode to then apply in the 9th episode. All the reveals happened in the 8th episode. All you need, everything before that was just teasing us that something big was happening that didn't actually happen. You could literally get everything in the 8th episode, and that's literally all the reveals. Not all the reveals, all the bit. You can probably you can probably compress the 7 episodes into one premise, explain to someone, oh, Wanda was depressed, she was grieving, she created this reality, she trapped all these people in, but one of the persons she trapped in was actually a witch, and then jump to episode 8, and you would not have lost anything. I think that's the annoying thing. And the annoying thing with that is the first 7 episodes are actually the best part of the series. When we get to episode 8, it kind of goes downhill. Well, I said, okay, me unfair there. Episode 8 was good. There was some great acting. There was some very intense things. We got a lot of backstory for Wanda. We got a lot of kind of, Elizabeth Olsen was able to kind of come out and shine a lot. We were able to get kind of a lot of depth and heart to the characters, and I loved the bit between Vision and Wanda. That was fantastic. Okay, so maybe I am being a bit unfair here, but in terms of the build-up, we got 7 episodes. We got 7 episodes of build-up. And we did not get 7 episodes worth of resolution. That's not to say you need 7 episodes build up and 7 episodes resolution, but you need your resolution to reflect the time that you've spent a month and 3 weeks building up to something, and then you don't build up to it. Is a bit, frankly, insulting, I think, is my issue here. Everything that was resolved in this episode between Agatha and Wanda was purely built from the last episode. Nothing before that mattered. Once you reach the 8th episode, and you go past the 8th episode, nothing about the previous 7 matters. But there were some big things there were some big things we saw in episode 7. And it wasn't as if, this is world building. This series isn't a world building series. World building isn't a genre, but let's pretend it's a genre for a second. You can make shows, like anthology shows, which I just meant to anthology, I guess that's the genre I'm going for. You can make anthology shows, which are covering kind of various aspects of a world, whilst loosely building a plot. And that's fine, you can do that very well. This was a thriller. This was a mystery thriller. Everything was trying to trigger you into thinking about questions and to wonder and speculate and to hype yourself up. Everything was around that. So, for then 7 episodes become irrelevant when you reach the penultimate episode is disappointing. It's disappointing. Wanda has no reason. Agatha hasn't, despite the fact that the very, very catchy song is "It was Agatha all along." Really, it wasn't Agatha all along. Agatha was doing that was a misdirection. Agatha was doing very little antagonistic work. She wasn't causing Wanda any suffering. She wasn't, she hadn't until this episode, or the finale of the last episode. She was absolutely no threat to Wanda, and then suddenly she becomes a threat to Wanda, and then even Wanda didn't seem that mad. Even after she defeated her, she wasn't that vengeful or angry about anything. It was literally just another person who just came along and decided to have beef with her. There was no the emotional core of this episode, the conflict of this episode was nothing to do with 7 episode build up. That's the issue I think I'm having with this finale. So I loved the 7 episodes. I loved going through these love letters to different eras of sitcom television whilst having this weird twist and using that meta-ness to tell a very interesting original story, and then it just kind of all dissolved into nothing. The Snake Man was right. That's what's annoying me. I was going to complain, but the Snake Man ended up being right. He was very he knew what he was talking about, and that's annoying me. But so yeah, everything that we were speculating on the first 7 episodes didn't go away. There's this underlying feeling there was something deeper, and that never happened. Pietro was a disappointment. I mean, there's no promise that this was meant to be what brings in X-Men, but it was a perfect opportunity to do so. And now if they do it a different way, or if they do execute the multiverse thing and bring in X-Men a different way, I just don't like the fact that fake Pietro was played by Peter Evans, and that was a purely out of universe joke or out of universe twist for us. I don't like that. I would be fine with the reveal that Pietro is actually a resident of Westview, but if they hadn't cast Peter Evans in the role, Evans Peter, what's his name? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't care anymore. Frankly, people who have two first names as things is annoying. That's just bothering me that they did that. Because now they can't really bring in the same X-Men universe into Marvel and have Evan Peters, thanks Holly, have Evan Peters play Pietro again when he's already played Pietro. It's just really annoying that they did that, that they wasted the opportunity, and they didn't do anything. I mean, it was like they avoided the predictable route of making this how they bring in what is happening with this back screen on my arm, but stop it. Everything, stop it. Just relax a bit more. Okay, cool, whatever. They avoided the particular route of making Evan Peters Foxman, Quicksilver, but then they went the other route, which was so predictable none of us thought that it would happen, that they just made him some random Westview resident. I think, I don't know if this was, we never found out who Jimmy Woo's missing person is. I reckon it was probably this dude was a missing person that they were talking about. But I can't see them now practically going anywhere with this. I can't see story-wise, narratively, how this can now go somewhere. It seems like it was resolved narratively, and it's just really annoying. So there are two post-credit scenes. One was about Kreese, and that's, I guess, meant to tie into Captain Marvel 2. I think is where it's leading. I think Monica Rambeau appears in Captain Marvel 2. I don't think she gets her own show, because there's obviously the Mrs. Marvel show. Ms. Marvel. That's the how you pronounce that mess, isn't it? I don't know enough Mrs. I don't think I've ever actually addressed them as Ms. before. Is that how you say it? Is it Ms? I know how to say Miss. I know how to say Mrs. Have I ever actually met someone who uses that title and address them as that? Interesting. Anyway, that was a brief glimpse of my life, but not relevant to this discussion. So, yeah, we had that kind of tie into Captain Marvel, which we weren't expecting, because we knew this was meant to lead into Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. I forgot what the Spider-Man film's called. They revealed it the other day. Whatever. And then we got a second one, which is Wanda astral projecting herself so she can read books, much like Doctor Strange does, and we hear the Doctor Strange music, and that's obviously meant to be a direct tie into Doctor Strange into the madness in the multiverse, or the multiverse. I can never remember if it's madness in the multiverse or multiverse of madness. One of the two. And then we hear the voices of her children. So clearly, she's working out a way to bring her children back, and perhaps even Vision. So I guess that's fine. I guess there's some kind of ramifications from this, but the ramifications are like so relatively trivial compared to the build-up. And honestly, that's it. That's what's bothering. It's the longest episode as well, and it's very annoying as well. Actually, we reached the resolution of most things just after the midway point. And then the rest of it is just kind of Wanda saying goodbye. It's meant to be the emotional catharsis, but I'm so let down by how I'm too built myself up to wait for something to happen that I'm not allowing myself an emotional catharsis here. It just kind of, yeah. It somehow it felt short, even though it was the longest episode. Even though it wasn't long, it was like 40 minutes. But it somehow even felt shorter. Nah, I'm done. it was. And people were like saying, oh, you got to stick with a slow build, and we rewarded. I enjoyed the slow build. And then there was just no. I just wasn't rewarded. I mean, that retrospectively doesn't make the slow build bad. I still enjoy the slow build. I might even go back and watch at some point. I don't tend to rewatch shows, but I wouldn't be averse to watching like early episodes and like looking at all the Easter eggs. I'm sure there are more Easter eggs inside them. But some put so many Easter eggs in it without any kind of meaning to them. I mean, so yeah. I don't. I watched it late because I had an evening plan. I was getting elected into a student position role again. That happened. So I'm tired. And I think I've worn myself out, and I think I've made the biggest point I need to make, which was I don't think it paid off. I think it was good. I think it was a good two-parter from this and last week's episode together, the good episodes. What is it? The thing is, this is from though. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for me didn't pay off either. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was building up. Last season, the whole time travel plot was building up to something, and then it just kind of just got so resolved in a way which the build up could have avoided the build up and not lost anything. There was no kind of catharsis. A lot of shows do this, and it's really annoying. Actually, also the Darkhold appeared apparently. Well, she mentioned the Darkhold when she had a book, and I guess I'm meant to infer that the book was the Darkhold. But it looks completely different to the Darkhold we've seen before. But then again, we're talking about reality changing witches, so I guess the physical appearance of the Darkhold is slightly irrelevant. Although it's weird with the Darkhold and not with the Doctor Strange books. Although unless they're trying to say that it ended up eventually in Doctor Strange's possession, which I guess is also possible. I'm done. I'm gonna continue enjoying my food and my new position in student politics. And what are the reviews saying? Does everyone else agree with me? Well, the Telegraph in the title puts episode 9 review, a wham bam finale with emotional twist. What was the emotional twist? What does Den of Geek say? Den of Geek says it sticks the landing. And now I can't scroll down for some reason. The Geek says you'll feel very satisfied by this experimental and emotional conclusion for a show. I don't. And I can't go any further because for some reason the page won't let me scroll down. That was Den of Geek. This is another Den of Geek article. This Den of Geek article says that it got mixed reviews from fans, which I guess is kind of more accurate because I feel mixed. Oh, apparently people are speculating this means that Wiccan and Speed will return in Doctor Strange, the second Doctor Strange film. And a whole bunch of tweets which aren't rendering properly. I mean, I'm glad these people are excited by it. And then this article has crashed again. Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, The Verge described it as underwhelming. I guess there are more articles to read, and maybe someone will reveal something I missed that makes it all make sense. But yeah, overall, I would definitely encourage you to watch the series. I would encourage you to get engaged in it, and then yeah, overall, it was a fantastic series. I enjoyed the experience of having to watch it every week and kind of speculate. I enjoyed being part of that kind of process. I just wish it kind of ended in a bang and it didn't, kind of fizzled. And I can't see any storylines to really like continue in Doctor Strange. Not strong storylines. I mean, obviously she's going to try and she's got her motivation to bring back her sons, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. 2 weeks, I can watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, which hopefully is exciting. I get equal investment with less chance of being disappointed at the end. I hate being so negative. Just feel let down. See you in 2 weeks. I get next week off. That's exciting. That sounds like I hate doing these. Maybe I do. Maybe I hate doing this. Maybe this is like the bane of my life. What do you know? You're not my real mum. Bye. What was even that English? How huge? Me.